Hello everybody, this is KenVG207 and welcome back to another video. So today I'll be announcing the results of the Kart Wii Custom Track Awards 2017. So about a month ago I asked all of my viewers to vote for their favorite custom track from Kart Wii that was first released in 2017. I received 63 responses with a total of 161 entries, of which there are 83 distinct tracks. So unique tracks that were chosen. So there were quite a few people who chose the same tracks, which I didn't actually expect. There were 26 tracks that received 2 or more votes from 2 or more people, basically. And the top 8 tracks that I'll be announcing soon got about 40% of the total votes. So actually it's a very accurate representation of the most voted, most liked custom track of 2017. So let's get into the top 8, which I already announced, but it's kind of a top 5. Number 6 through 8 received the same amount of votes, and the numbers 4 and 5 received the same amount of votes. So I will be starting with the number 5, which is actually a shared number 5, shared by 3 tracks. Then we're going to go into the number 4, which is shared by 2 tracks, and then we go on to the top 3, which got different amounts of votes here. So we'll get right into this. Let's get this started. We started off our shared number 5 with Flying Kingdom, first released on January 1st, 2017, created by Spy Kid. Currently version 1.2. Alright, we're gonna show basically a lap view of every track right here. So I guess I'll be commentating this on the fly. This isn't scripted anymore. That first bit was a bit kind of scripted here. So we started off on an ice section that turns into I don't know, what, some kind of road section here, into an area that like has a steep slope here suddenly, into a ramp and a 90-degree corner, then into this, I don't know, rainbow glass thing, I don't know, with some zappers, onto a roof of some building, I guess. Here are lava pillars, which can be really annoying if you're actually playing online. And then we get into the section with the boulders that are somehow rolling uphill. I don't know how that works. Onto a ramp, into a short spiral section that brings us to a few boost panels, off a ramp, into well, 2 more ramps here onto a building, and then you have the choice of taking a shroom shortcut on the right there or go down the normal path. Next, a few more ramps until the final spiral here. You can take a shortcut on the right, skips a little bit of time if you have a mushroom. Yeah, into a big ramp, the final spiral, past some thwomps, and that was it for Flying Kingdom by Spy Kid. Next up in our shared number 5, we have Crash Team Racing Cortex Castle, first release on January 3rd, 2017 by Ethan Mark 7199. Again, we're going to show a full lap race, and if there's split paths in any of the tracks, I will show both paths basically. So this is basically a 90-degree turn fest. It's full of 90-degree turns. This is the right path, here's the left path right here. So this track gets my personal pick. I didn't vote in the awards myself, however this would be my favorite pick of tracks released in 2017. Alright, here we go. We're gonna continue in this 90-degree angle fest here. Oh wait, this turn isn't 90 degrees, it's not really a turn. Into a boost panel, into a spiral. No one uses that blue zipper. You can trick off of those edges if you didn't know that. So this is the normal route you can take. It's again spirals and 90-degree turns basically. You can kind of skip them with a mini turbo, or you can go for the shortcut, shroomless or with a shroom. It's totally doable. It's up to you. And here we go into the final section with a bunch of spiders and more 90-degree turns. That's about it. That was Cortex Castle. Next up is Alpine Peak. This was actually released in December 25, 2016. However, it was only added in CTGP somewhere in 2017. So I'm actually gonna count this in because nobody really knew that this wasn't actually released in 2016. Oh, it was created by Ethan Mark 7199, just like the last one. You're gonna see that there's gonna be a lot of the same, so a lot of the same authors. We can definitely speak of a best custom track creator of the year, but here we go. I showed you the secondary road here. If you have a mushroom, or in this case I used a bullet bill, you can basically skip a bit of the turn there. So this track is, well, it's snowy, and I actually kind of really like this spiral section, how it looks, basically. It's a snowy landscape area, and I cut out a bit of a me getting owned by a red shell. But here we go. We get outside of this cave. We get into more snowy area. There's a section on the left which is not faster at all, and you need a mushroom to even get there. So I don't know if it's faster. I've never gone on it, but I've never seen anyone on it. It does have boost panels, but it's like so wide. It feels like a long cut anyway. But that was already the lap, so that was Alpine Peak. So, shared on number 4, we have Final Grounds, created by Mega Kart 69, first publicly released in June 19th, 2017. Here we go. So, this track has quite a few alternate routes. There's a few that are basically identical but mirrored, so I'm not going to show you them. If there's any mirrored sections, I don't think it's worth showing them because it's basically the same. That was the right path. Here's the left path at the beginning. I think the right path is slightly faster, but I could be mistaken. This is basically the section that's just mirrored the same way around. It's the same the other way around. Doesn't matter showing off either of them. The fastest section here is, I think, just landing on that ramp, or falling into the gap below, which brings you in a section underneath the track. But now you can choose to go left or right, well, left, or actually do a little bit of a difficult strat, which is landing on the wall here. Gets you to boost early, saves you some time. So, out of that ramp, basically, you can go left. It's basically the same thing, but the right, you're basically always gonna go for the right path here. So there was a shortcut though that was hidden somewhere in a wall. You can try to look it up yourself. But for this section, you can go straight and basically follow this like rock section down here, but you can also try to go, which is actually quite difficult. I did this first try while making this video. You can do a shroomless shortcut right there, where just driving off, wheeling off the edge and land right underneath a wall there. That was intentional to be a pretty hard shortcut there. And then we get into this section, which you can use mushrooms to skip a few of the sections there, go over the ramps, and then we end up in just a big spiral that basically brings us back to the finish line, slightly to the right here, and then back to the left, and that's the track basically. That's Final Grounds. Also shared in 4th place, we have Crystal Plains, created by Sneaky, first released on was it February 19th, 2017. Again, we'll show you a lap of the track if you haven't seen it yet. If you haven't seen it yet, then you probably should download CTGP, CTGP channel, because you can play basically all these tracks if you have a Marco Wii disc and the Wii and an SD card. So check that out if you haven't already. I assume most of you know of CTGP already. So here's a little shortcut. You can use any boost item to kind of cut across that road right there, or cut across the turn, skip a tiny bit, and we go into this big ramp, into the big section here, which is kind of useless because, like, why would you drive so far? Oh well, these are some moving, tricking platforms, which I think are really cool. This is a track where I'm actually going to show a few shortcuts at the very end. I think that's kind of cool. Took me a few tries to do some of them though, but you go over some hay bales, or some kind of cart with hay bales or something. Yeah, It's supposed to be some kind of farm town and castle thing, a fort, stronghold or something, I don't know. But here's a shortcut you can do with 3 mushrooms. It's pretty hard getting that first jump, and then I kind of messed up. You kind of want to use that mushroom slightly later, and you can do that with 3 mushrooms. And there's another shortcut which uses only 1 mushroom. You go behind that hay bale, end up on this roof, trick off the roof, and that basically is the lap for you guys. You just saw Crystal Plains. Number 3, here we go. This is going to be the top 3. This is Marble Towers, created by Sneaky, first released on December 21st, 2016. But it was added somewhere in 2017. It was added to CTGP, so I'm going to count this one as well. Again, it was released in December at the very end of the year, and technically this is a 2016 track, but most people know it from CTGP anyway, and probably didn't know it was released in December the year before. I'm gonna keep it in, so here we go. I kind of like this track a lot. It's basically a marble track. You know, if you've been a kid and you've ever seen something, it's quite an elaborate one or something. If I've never seen something like this, basically go down a big pipe tube section here. So here's a shortcut you can do if you don't know. And you up at the spiral section, and after which you can go down here. So I'm gonna also show you the normal way for doing this. However, there's a better technique to do. You really need to watch out for these marbles right here. These are pretty painful. They wreck your speed. You get spun out, I believe, actually, or flattened actually. I think you might get flattened from them actually, which is really, really bad. But you can go in the sugarcane, and that's it for Marble Towers. As number 2, we have Glimmer Express Trains, created by Sneaky. This track, however, was released on September 18th, 2016, so that made it quite debatable whether or not I wanted to keep this actually as the number 2, because it was released quite far in 2016. However, it was basically only added to CTGP in 2017, and apparently no one actually cared when they voted. For some reason, no one looked up the actual release date. They only cared about the CTGP date. But I'm gonna handle the CTGP date for now, since otherwise most of these, a few of these tracks wouldn't actually make it here. But as you just saw, there's actually a bit of a shortcut you can do. Some part of that wall is, it doesn't have collisions, so you can go through it. So here we go. Glimmer Expressions, I think, is a really, really, really cool track. It uses the background that rotates to make it seem like the train is actually going somewhere, which it's not, but it's just a moving background. I think that's really cool. You can land on that wall and skip the upcoming turn here, but I suck at this game, so I didn't. Alright, so you can also use a mushroom to go to where, basically on the right, we have that ramp up there. I think it is pretty tight. I think the jump's pretty tight. I've never done it before. Well, no, I've done it once before, and I think it was pretty difficult back then. So that's basically what I'm going off here. So then you end up in this train section, and you can choose to go left or right. They're basically the same. It's basically the same. So I'm going to show you the bottom section of the left path here. And then we basically have the upper section, which I'm going to go on the right side here. I think it's basically the same. However, most people use the right section. I don't know if it's a difference in speed. I don't know if there's a difference. I think it is, because if you can see, you land pretty far ahead. So I think if you take the upper section on the left, it's actually a lot slower, since you'll probably still need to take the turn to the right. But that was Glimmer Express Trains. Number 1 is Lunar Lights, the track you've probably already guessed. But here we go. This track was created by Sneaky, first released on, August 6, 2017. It's a pretty nice one. Also added to CGP in 2017. Basically, yeah, you know, all these tracks are in CGP, which is probably why they got the most. Well, why they got the votes, since tracks that weren't in CGP were barely ever chosen for this awards here. So I'm gonna show you all the paths, and well, I'm gonna suck at a few shortcuts, but I'm gonna try to show them off here. So the normal road goes through here, through the little cave section. I don't know why that is there. We also have this where you can do the shroomless, but use the build. You can cut off that turn, basically. There's also a shortcut here. There's all kinds of stuff you can do. I think there's also some place you can shroom off with the mushroom and skip the little cave section there. But that's basically the lap. There's another little shortcut that you can do here at the end if you have mushrooms or any speed item. And then you just get wrecked like me, like any Mario Kart player, right before the finish line. But that was it for Lunar Lights. And that's also it for the Custom Track Awards 2017 video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you don't agree with any of these top spots, then, well, I mean, these did get the most votes, and I'll try and do this again next year. You know, because why not? I hope there are going to be quite a few nice custom tracks released in 2018. The Glimmer Express Trains one was kind of debatable. It was released somewhere far in 2016. I understand if you don't agree with that for some reason. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I've been wanting to make this for a really long time. I already closed the poll a long time ago, but I basically just got ill and there's other things that I had to do. But I finally got the video done. I hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you guys in the next video.